Today at Pull Start Stables, we're going to see if we can straighten this thing out. That plate right there is about 3/8 of an inch thick, and it's supposed to be flat. But sometimes when you wrap a chain around a bar on top and you give her the beans of a Branson, it bends stuff. You can see that it has bent here and pulled that in. It's kind of bent this side as well and pulled that in. But this is all supposed to be flat stock. We're going to see if we can straighten this with a press. If not, we're going to have to do a little bit of cutting and welding. Hopefully I'll be able to capture what I'm trying to do here. And hopefully I'll be able to do what I'm trying to do here. For now, I'm going to use this old Weaver Manufacturing press. I don't know what kind of tonnage this thing puts out, but hopefully it's enough. Right now, my thoughts. See if I can flatten this at all. I'm really not worried about the shape. I think I can fine tune and tweak as needed. It is just a brush guard. Things can be tweaked, hopefully. I do, however, have to get this aligned so that it can take pressure without becoming a bullet. Let's give that a shot, shall we? Now, for the sake of it, I know when you're trying to, say, pull something out of the ditch and you're worried about the tensile pressures that be, if you cover it with a towel or a strap or something like that, it may be able to disperse the energies that be if something flies. Please. I think it's moving. I think it's getting somewhere. It's definitely twisted less. So now it's time to beat on the other side. Let's see if we can set this up backwards. And yield the same results. Check that out. We can attach the strap to the press. I do actually think that that might have helped when that popped loose. Nothing came flying at my face, so it's a good day. Ooh, that was awesome. Oof. break time. Well, that was one of those classic tighten it till it breaks and then back it off a 1/4 inch. I could feel that coming. I was just thinking to myself, I should probably get a different piece of tooling to be yanking on than a tapered heavy bar. So this tire spoon managed to catch my finger, and man, it is tingling. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put this back on the bench. I'm gonna get something else. Hey, look. I've used those before, they work. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this socket back on the bench, put this lady's foot back on the bench, maybe get an even longer extension and get back to work. Now where were we? I'd like to say it's working. We'll see. Now you may notice I'm doing equal and opposite actions on this. Whatever I do over here, I'm doing over here. And I'm going to just try to keep working to get this straightened out. Well, we're getting there. A little bit of pushing and pressing and this and that here and there. We're almost there. Now that this is mostly flat, I should be able to give maybe a little bit of a rib underneath here and a little bit of pressure here and here with like a nut or some washers even, and help kind of flatten out that bend that pulled up here. So once it's got no more pressure on it and the other side is straightened out, we will address these pieces if they're twisted or bent. The tractor's only a few miles down the road, so if I need to, I can run down, and I haven't actually seen it on the tractor recently, so I'll need to know if gussets fit here or here before I just start welding. It's still ugly, but it has made a significant improvement along the way. Wow. Whew, heavy metal. So now I'm looking at the deformities here. And I have a low spot here. I'm flat between here and here. And this kind of tapers off about here. So this is my crease. And you can actually see a crease. I'm guessing the frame of the tractor was here. I don't know actually, because I believe this is the frame of the tractor. It was just, I don't know. It's weird that it's got that crease in there. It could be from my press, I don't know. But I'm going to see if I can stack up under here and push down here and here and see if I can get rid of this bow. So I'm going to throw this piece of stock under here, like that. I'm going to just throw 3 washers in and see if I can span that gap. And I'm only using 1 washer at the time. I don't want to use such a high stack that I push past this. So we'll see how this goes. I'm just starting to get a little bit of deformation. I'm guessing this is powder coat. That powder coat's starting to kind of shrink back, but it's already stretched so far it has nowhere to go, so it's bubbling. So at that point I'm going to just relieve the tension, see what it looks like. I like that. I'm going to check it out. It looks like I can move my bottom plate over a little bit and move my washers up here and get a little bit closer. See if I can straighten that out. This one might be a little bit risky, I don't know. I just stacked 2 washers in this corner and nothing anywhere else. I feel like if I just keep watching it though, I'll be able to see what's moving, what's not. My direct pressure here is right above this bottom bar. So then I'll be pushing down here and here a little bit, but a lot here. Oh, this is pretty tough, but I think it's working. If I need to, I can stack a washer here, maybe here now. I'm just gonna pull my tension off and see what it's looking like. That was a hard push. It's getting pretty good. It's getting pretty good. So I'm really getting somewhere on this workpiece, on the weaver press, but I just, after all the years of having this thing in the shop, realized that right here, there's another tapped hole. And if I move this bolt up to this hole, my torque should multiply by probably double. I won't have near as big of a throw on this crank, but I would much rather be able to have less stress on my body and more force on the workpiece. So I'm going to just give this a try because I've got nothing to lose. This will also reduce the stress on this casting exponentially. I've always wondered, I don't know if you could see it on camera or not, but these plates are physically bent in the middle. This thing has had a lot of tonnage on this over time. So these plates are like worn this way. That's got to be some serious pressure. This is pretty wild. It's like learning a whole new tool all over again. Let's just drop our stuff. I'm just trying to reduce my sharp edges exposure. There's probably not a whole lot of times that I actually need that torque multiplier, but there's not a lot of jobs that require 3/8 plate to move. I actually haven't measured that. It just looks like 3/8 plate. This is a 100% micrometer job anyway. I'm just going by look and feel and figuring it out as I go. I've got to come down here. I'm pretty even here, here, and here. I just got to come down in that spot. So we'll do a little different setup with these washers. We'll put 4 corners. Set it there. We'll throw a washer on our high spot, maybe 2. We'll throw 2 washers on that high spot and give it some more cranks. We're really getting somewhere. Really getting somewhere. It's not perfect. It's way better than it was. We'll keep working it. It's going to be awesome. Now I've got that plate mostly flat, okay? But this is still tweaked out pretty far. I do not know if this will work or not, but a while back I bought this Porta Power from Amazon. It's a TYM, I believe, and it's a 4-ton. Now as far as structure goes, these pins are holding these plates in place, but they're also going to use strength and force to fight me just pushing the outside of the press apart. So I'm going to just pump. I'm going to see if this will bend in. This is clearly a spot in the shop that I do not use very often, so lighting is not the best. There's garbage in the way. My setup is not ideal, but my press hardly ever gets used, so it is what it is. I've also determined in a quick bit of time that this torque multiplier is a little bit excessive for the majority of work that I do. So I'm going to just put it back. It's still very good to know I have it though. All right, take 2. Check that out. From where we started, that is a good day. I've got a little bit more work to do on this side, flattening out this plate and squaring up this side, but I think this is going to work out pretty all right. Now, sometimes the repair life is all about how good you can rig something. So now it's time to work on the cow catcher, on the brush guard, on the whatever you want, the grill guard. And I have just clamped it in place. It bent in, so I need to pick this up. So if I clamp this in place and I jack this, it's not going to work. So I have placed that Porta Power underneath, pushing against a triangulated spot. So I do believe that if I put pressure here, away from here, it should lift this up and give me my 90-degree or flush plate that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go until I can eyeball that this is flat, and then I'm going to go one more pump, assuming that there's going to be a little bit of spring back. And then once I let go of my pressure, I will eyeball it again and see if I need more or if I need to just pull it in with the bolts. I could go a little bit past flush if I want to, and then when I assemble this, this goes on the outside of that first bracket, and I'll be able to snug it up to where I need it to be. I believe that's flush. I'm gonna go one more pump. And I'm gonna let it off. Actually, I think I would like to clamp this back. It's got a little bit of bend here, so it looks good here, but it's tweaked here. So I'm going to put it back in, see if I can bend it out this way a little bit. I like that. Now while I have this in the press, I'm just going to straighten this ear a little bit. I don't think it should take much. I like that. Now it's time for a dry fit up. See how this goes together. Well, I guess this should work pretty good. I think that is as flush as it can be, square with the world. Assuming that this is bolted onto the tractor, you can pull the pin, bend it down, do service work on the grill, radiator, clean outs, whatever you need to do, and it goes back. So I'm going to call that done. Hopefully you learned something today at Pull Start Stables. Hopefully you were entertained. Hopefully you don't use your finger as a stop between two heavy metal objects. And hopefully you hit that subscribe and like button. And I'll see you next time on Pull Start Stables. Thanks for watching.